Hmm. What's good, Black Star Podcast? Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Jared, and today we're going to be talking about something that's going to probably be a little bit controversial. So, today you guys see the topic of discussion, and that is submitting to your husband. Now, this particular stream was inspired by somebody that was commenting on um commenting today on a video I had did, I believe, day before yesterday, and that is the so-called power of box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to isolate this particular commenter. I'm going to try to isolate what she was saying, because this actually is something that needs to be discussed. So right now I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to read to you what this commenter said. And she said this: maybe I'm different, but the passport bros who are really going overseas to get wives of a certain tradition, I completely support. In the West, where we are individuals, and I don't believe that we're going to be changing that, which is very true. I don't think that it makes us less feminine, nor not have the ability to be married. I do agree that we are not compatible with men who want to be in charge, in the ones in charge, and with the ones that are in charge. I'm okay with that. I'm not comfortable leaving my entire fate in someone's hands, and I'm not submitting simply for the asking. Men who men who want women who are ride or die in traditional, quote unquote, they need they may need to go. Damn, this shit's. I gotta fucking zoom in. Hold on, guys. Damn. Okay. So what was that? Men who want women. Men who want women are men who want women who are ride or die in our quote unquote traditional. Then they may need to go to a place where they can, where laws don't really support individuality, and because it is available. I think that's exactly what they should do. I don't think they should try to turn us into something we're not. There are enough men here for every woman who one wants one who is willing to accept her as she is, because he's an even bigger boss. Now, I don't have a problem with that, but the problem is when you're trying to basically say that the men that show you and tell you that show you that they're a boss, that you will submit to them. But hold on, let me rephrase that. So what was it? I don't think they should turn this into something that we're not. So this right here, I have a problem with. They shouldn't turn you into something you're not. Okay, I understand that. Then you're saying that there's enough men here for every woman who wants well, there are enough men here for every woman who wants one who is willing to accept her as she is. But my question is why should a man have to accept you as a combative ass woman? That's the problem I have with that. Then I said this: you're right. They shouldn't turn you into something that you're not. But submitting doesn't mean you're leaving your fate in somebody else's hands. Submission is simply allowing a person to guide you in a better direction. She said, That's what submission is to you, my brother. And if he is qualified, even a woman like me who is, if a woman like me is strong enough to be led by someone who is stronger, I'd be hella relieved if I could defer most, if not all, decision making to another individual. Being in charge isn't everything that it's cracked up to be. LOL. Unfortunately, too many of our brothers and sisters have a very skewed idea of what submission is and how to lead. My ex and I both thought that he was leader. He wasn't. That didn't make him. That didn't make him stop from demanding it. It eventually became our downfall because many who want to lead just can't. Okay, understand that. Not every man is going to be a leader in a relationship. Not every man is worthy of being a leader, and we understand that. But a man who is qualified, yes, I understand that. But also, qualification also comes with allowing a man to lead also comes with respect. You allowing that man to lead is a sign of you respecting him and his decision making skills. That's where a lot of ladies are failing, is that they believe that they're strong enough to be they're strong. Yes, you can be strong, but the thing about it is it's not about being weak to allow a man to lead. It's about trust in that person, trusting that person's ability to guide you in the best direction that's possible. That's the problem that a lot of people are that are failing to realize, is that your mindset is going to keep you from getting to the place you want to be, and allowing a man to guide you, a man that is worthy of, like you said, worthy of submission. That's what you're failing to realize. But let's continue. Let's say you're right. Everyone is not a leader, and I know that being in charge is not always cracked up to be. But for men, you submitting to me is allowing me to take the position of leader. Is you showing me that you respect me in my decisions and trusting me with the direction of our family. And everybody's vision of submission, it may be skewed, but it's what that means to that specific person. And maybe you didn't submit to your ex because you didn't trust them with the direction of your family's future. But there's brothers out there that deserve and desire to be the leader in the family. So she said this: I actually did submit to my ex-husband. That's how I found out that he wasn't the leader. That's because you was doubting him and his leadership skills. But that's neither here nor there. I don't really care. I don't know your situation like that. But I took the reins over. I took the reins over since. I should have left the minute I realized that he wasn't a leader. To be frank, I'm from an era in which a family where divorce is very taboo. There's there are many good, smart, trustworthy, providing and protecting men who deserve the leadership role and are good at it. They're leading. They don't have to demand to be leader. It is a given. That's very true. If he has to ask to be, if he has to ask for the leadership role, he's lacking something. My daughter is with a man with my mindset as well. Hold on. My daughter is with a man with my mindset as well. My daughter is like me in many more ways than anyone can count. I explained to him that with such a woman, she has to trust him and she has to see the work and for her with her own eyes before she puts her life's put her life of that her baby of her babies in your hand. For a while, he did great. She was convinced to stay at home and be a homemaker. Eventually, he started job hopping, losing jobs, and so much so that she ended up going back to work, and now he's demanding to be the man. My daughter is a woman of few words, and her actions are significant. He's done proved himself unnecessary. If he becomes a nuisance on top of that, she'll send him on his way, or he'd come home to an empty house. If I know her like I do, if I know her like I think I do, she's already made plans and moves within those plans. She's probably putting money away as we speak. If you have to demand the leadership role, there's something wrong with him. He probably should have asked her what does she see in him that she sees as below standards. Okay. So this part comes to where I was talking about that not every man deserves to be a deserves to be in the leadership position. So let me find out where is that. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where's it at? Bingo! Right here. Okay. Eventually he started. Eventually he starts job hopping, losing jobs so much so that she ended up going back to work, and now he's demanding to be the man. Here's the problem that I see that he did, that what mistake he made. And me being my age, I understand that there's a lot of risk that comes in with relationships. I'm only 24, so this is what I'm seeing from my own age. He started job hopping, and I'm pretty sure he's in his 30s. He started job hopping to the point where he lost the trust of said woman. This is why I say you need to have your shit together. He didn't have his shit together. He started job hopping. Me as a man, I work two jobs. I'm not job hopping, and I have to move very strategically because I have more. I have other people in my house that I have to take care of instead of me just hopping around to every individual job that I can. I have to I have to make sure that I have my finances in order just in case something happens. So I'm foreseeing something happening down the line. Not saying that it will, but I'm foreseeing something happens. That's where a lot of guys fail. And a lot of guys don't don't listen to themselves. Let me go back to myself, voice only. But that's where a lot of guys are failing. Now, back to the submission part. I understand where she is coming from. And the problem that I'm seeing here is that you're not willing to you don't have the necessary foresight that you should in order to find a man that is trustworthy of your submission. See, what happens is what a lot of ladies will do is they will go out here and they will try to find this Pookie and Ray Ray type of guy, or not even them, but they will try to find a guy that's, let's say, a guy that isn't very stable in his decision making. He's very impulsive, not very calculated with his mindset and um with his resolve. He's not calculated. And that's the problem because as men, we should be very calculated in the way we move, especially if we have other people that we have to look out for. Excuse me. But I digress. Every man, like I said, does not deserve the leadership role. But like I said, there are men out there that are very much deserving of leadership, of the leadership over the family. Now let's get to the real reason why I was wanting to say this. Submission to your husband, that should be a given. If said man gave you protection, foresight, and provided for you, and shown that that he is a very stable leader and capable leader, that automatically should have you submit to your husband. Now, the problem comes in is where you start second guessing and start challenging his leadership. That's where the problem comes in for a lot of men. A lot of ladies like to challenge every single decision that a man makes, not understanding that that specific man has already thought out and judged and determined the direction and the decision that he's made. He's made he's made the necessary thoughts and plans and have planned it out so that he can foresee something happening. But what happens is a lot of ladies don't understand that that man has already figured it out. Just because he didn't talk to you doesn't mean that he didn't understand or didn't think it completely through. Now, in the guides of marriage, I'm not married myself, so excuse me for this. Now, under the guise of marriage, you should submit to your husband because that is the way that God wanted it. You should submit to your husband because that is the way that God intended it. Is God, man, woman, and children. That is the way that God has it. Now, like I said, not every man deserves submission. Not every man deserves a woman to trust in his leadership. But I have to say this: does a woman deserve protection without submission? Does a woman deserve to be protected by her husband if she refuses to submit to her husband's decision making skills? That is the main question that needs to be asked. Does a woman deserve protection, especially if her husband gives her a clear reason why she shouldn't do what she's supposed to do? And I believe no. If you're willing to challenge my resolve at every moment, every step, just because you can, that's a problem. That's meaning that you're willing to put me into a position to where I'm going to have to do something that I shouldn't have to do. Now, I believe that a lot of ladies, what they do is they look for any inconsistencies so that they can usurp the leadership role again. They can take over the leadership role again. And what happens is when ladies retake that leadership role, they think emotionally, they don't think logically. And a lot of men nowadays, especially, they think very emotionally. They're very impulsive, especially when it comes to critical decision making skills. A lot of men will go out here and make a very rash decision quickly and not make sure to think about the consequences and actions that could occur if said plan or said action and decision is wrong. So let's go back to this. Let's go back to this. So her saying this, and I'm going to highlight it again. Her saying this, I actually did submit to my ex husband. That's how it's how I found out that he wasn't the leader. I took I took the reins I took the reins ever since, and I should have left the moment I realized he. I should have realized. I should have. Hold on. I should have left him the minute I realized he wasn't a leader. To be frank, I'm from an era where divorce is very taboo. Now, I'm pretty sure she was married to a black man, so a lot of black men are not very good decision makers, especially when it comes to their life's choices. We can see by some of the choices that a lot of brothers, by the way that they spend their money, Air Jordans, Nikes, Yeezys, they're not very good decision makers. Not saying that there are some good brothers out there that are very good decision makers, but quite frankly, a lot of us are not. I'm going to be honest with you. But still, ladies, if your husband is, if you, first of all, that's part of the vetting process. You should have vetted your husband properly to make sure that he was a amicable leader. That's the first problem. That's the first mistake that a lot of leads make. You don't make sure that your husband is worthy of being the leader in the relationship. That's where you mess up, first of all. Second of all, you mess up by allowing yourself to get involved with a man that's not a leader. That's when you make your second mistake. You don't accurately you don't accurately vet him. You go based off of his looks, off of his charisma. You don't actually look at the fact of the matter that said person doesn't make very good decisions. Let's take TikTok for example. For the past couple of days, I've been seeing a lot of brothers on TikTok doing some of the most egregious and stupid shit. It makes no sense. Doing stupid shit for likes and views. There's been several YouTube pranksters get arrested. Now I know this is not on the same scale of what I'm talking about, but just listen to me. They didn't make the best decisions, and one of them got arrested, and one of them got shot. Luckily he didn't get killed, but he got shot. Very terrible decision making skills on their part, because they put themselves into a position to where they involuntarily got injured and got arrested. That's just that. Then you have some brothers making very bad decisions, especially when it comes to Passport Bro content, by telling, well, not telling, by showing the worst of another culture, and then get disappointed and get pissed off when you have American women calling you out on your shit. That's number two. Decision making skills. And three, by the way that they handle themselves with money. That's three. So, like I said, not everybody deserves submission. Submission should be only attributed to a man that's actually worthy of submission. A man that's proven himself time and time again that he is worthy of that leadership role. But I don't know, guys. What do you think? Comment down below. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Support the podcast on Spotify.com. I will see you guys